Good morning and welcome, everybody. Come on in on this auspicious, crazy day. Yes. Come on in. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm just seeing who's in. I think so. I was just reading somebody's post who said that they would rather just have a game of Jumanji and play that. Well, that's about it. I think, you know what? I think that's about it. I think Ashley wrote that, Ashley Ray. So, I mean, that is, yeah, that's about it. Uh, Code of Jumanji to be thrown directly into the Hunger Games. Oh boy, there's a lot to do with Jumanji today. And let's see, I just read another post. Go out of the Jumanji to be thrown directly into the Hunger Games. Virginia wrote that. Let's see, what other crazy comments do people have out there? You're always there to pick. Love coffee. Yeah, we know we love coffee. Woo! Russell Brand coming out. Coronavirus has thrown around 100 million people into extreme poverty. World Bank. Yeah, crazy shit going on in the world, right? Let's have a sip of coffee on that one. Yeah, got my coffee. So I'm hoping everybody's out there having a fabulous, wonderful, beautiful time. It is, let me see, the sun is moving into Aquarius. We're done with, well, we're not done with Capricorn, but the sun is out. So we got to look at where the dispositor of, because the sun is in there, that means things are going to be highlighted and highlighted on where the dispositor is, which means the ruler. So the ruler, yeah, Saturn is a co-ruler, but the ruler is Uranus. So Uranus is the ruler, and he is in Taurus. And right now, he's exactly conjunct. Yeah, exactly conjunct Mars. So there's some crazy erratic energy that's going to be coming in today, and I could feel it. I was talking to my meditation group this morning, and just, last night, there was so much resistance, or the leading of resistance, or the person coming in who's going to be leading the resistance. And there's this energy of resistance. There is an energy of saying, no, I don't want to do this, or no, I can't do this. So there's this energy of resistance because people aren't wanting to be compliant to what they're being told to do and being in that compliance. And I was just also reading about the Trans-Canada Pipeline, and it'll be canceled the first day Biden's in. Well, I kind of knew that. That's the whole thing, is that, I mean, he said he was going to do that anyways. So I don't know why Canada is so shocked about that. We kind of knew that. And RBC is just saying, well, if that's the case, if he's canceling everything, you guys just best walk away from the deal. So that's the other part, is walking away from the deal. So again, that's going to be a lot of jobs that are going to be up in the air, good, bad, or indifferent, whatever. But that means that there is a resistance again, some kind of resistance. What are you resisting? It's a square. What are you resisting in your life? I mean, the Queen of Cups came reversed. I'll show you what else came up today in the reading too. But the Queen of Cups was the beginning. And the Queen of Cups is saying, what are you resisting? What is that emotional resistance that you are having issues with within your own personal life? And with Venus being in Capricorn, and she's going to be retrograding, where she's going over now, she's retrograding right now. It's like, what's going on here? What is that energy that's coming in that's getting you not wanting to do or plant the seeds or continue upon this earth walk in some way that you are resisting? The moon is in Aries, which is, that's quite nice with the moon in Aries. And the moon is making, the moon's making, what is he doing? He's making a sextile over to Venus. So It's just before he goes into the first quarter square, when he goes into Taurus, which will be the first quarter square of the moon, before the full moon. So there's this energy of, what is it? Because we're coming into a real big week of some sort of resistance. The sun is actually, she's going to be conjunct Saturn and Jupiter. She's going over that 0 point. She's entering in on that 0 point of that big conjunction that we had in December. So was there something or an energy there that you were working with that you're going to see come out of this? Was there something then and around Christmas time that you were bumbling about with, or just trying to figure things out with that? Because the Strength card comes in upright. So there's this beautiful energy, strength of, what are you tapping into? Because you have your inner strength, even though the Queen is, this is the hippy dippy Queen and she's reversed. That means that there's a block there. So we have a block. So there's these blocks that are coming up. And today, with Uranus hitting with Mars, anything can happen. It's a wild card. It's a wild card. And it's very hard to pinpoint that wild card, because the wild card is just that it is the unknown. It is the unknown. Guess who came in today? It is the unknown. So the Tower card comes in for us today. And we all know, when we see, a lot of people are like, oh, I love the Tower card. And I'm like, yeah, I don't mind the Tower card. But to me, I personally, have every time the Tower card comes in, I know there's some crazy disruptions that are going to come in. And you're going to be feeling or experiencing a sense of insecurity and loss. And yes, it's a beautiful time to grow, and it's a beautiful time to blossom and see where you need to prune your trees and do everything. But this is coming in to some darkness. This is coming into some heavy energy. And it is knowing that we do have the strength to go through this. It is knowing that we will come above this, but we got to go treading through some really deep, heavy waters right now. And even the Hierophant was reversed. The overall spiritual energy for this was the Hierophant reversed, meaning that we have to learn to stand on our own 2 feet in order to get to where we need to go. And with that, with the Tower card, this card is also, it indicates a breakthrough of consciousness. So this, Uranus is the higher form of consciousness. It is the higher form of Mercury. Mercury is the lower form. Uranus is the higher form. It is that connection. Here we go. Mercury, Mercury's still, he's in Aquarius. He's figuring out information. He's getting information. So there's information, but are you resisting the information that's coming through? Are you resisting something that's being told to you and you don't want to do it? Or you feel stagnant? Or there's something there and Uranus is going to shake it up and it's going to blow in your face? Good or bad. It could be a dandelion blowing in your face. Who knows? But, as I said, this is a week of extremes. This is a week that's going to come in, that's going to bring in these extremes. And this is where we start looking at our hopes and our dreams and the structure of our community. How strong is our community? How strong is that base? And with Mars squaring that Jupiter and Saturn, this is like asking you, and Saturn will expand. Saturn's expansion. He expands, good or bad, doesn't matter. He's going to expand it. So whatever is going on. So this is a year, and this is, a year of revelations, a year of change, a year of really coming in. And it's going to be weird, and it's going to be kind of funky, because Aquariuses are weird and funky. They are they're the sign that brings in a lot of differences, and wanting to bring in differences of opinions, different groups, different ideas, new ideas. So this is where you might be feeling a little bit anxiousness. This might be feeling a little bit unhinged in some way. And if you are feeling unhinged, really, Roseanne. So if you are feeling unhinged, or if you're feeling out to lunch in some way, this is where it's like, okay, what are you resisting? Because the head of the resistance is there. He's coming in, and it's coming in too on a global sense. There's a head of a resistance that is going to be coming in, and we're going to be seeing that head of resistance. We're going to be feeling that energy coming forth. So this is where, with us Saturn and Jupiter coming together and it's squaring, and we have the squares to Mars and Uranus, it is erratic. It is going to cause a rumble. And this is, where you might have been feeling sluggish, but there are breakthroughs that are going to be coming in, but we have to have the courage to go through these breakthroughs. We have to have the courage to step up and say, yeah, I got to go through this. I got to do this. Hence the Tower card coming in. The Tower card is never easy. Excuse me, my nose has been running all morning. The Tower card is never easy. So there is this energy that's coming in that needs to be released, because there is that, it's like things have been sort of balling up, and this is the first, this is the first of about 3 squares with Uranus and Saturn. So this is like, it's going to be coming up in our face several times this year. So this is starting to say, okay, are you working on the structures that you need to be working on in your life? Or what are you avoiding on working, right? Because there is some kind of an avoidance that is coming in, and looking at that avoidance. So this is where this energy is coming in. So bringing the light down to the root. We want to bring that light all the way down to the root. We want to bring and pull the light all the way down through us, with us, and in us, and around us, so that we are able to feel, see, allow ourselves to be open up to this, and to be opened up to this resistance. Because when we can open up to the resistance, when we can open up to this root, this is where we are going to be weaving, and where we are going to be weaving this energy within us. We are going to be weaving some newness. We are going to be creating some new structures. All right. So for instance, here's when I used to sew, one of the things that I used to love to do when I sewed, I would buy buttons before I would create the outfit. So I'd have the buttons, and the buttons would be the theme for my outfit. So I would buy these buttons, and some buttons, some very pretty buttons, and whatever it was, that would be the theme of whatever I was going to create, whether it was a shirt or a blouse or a dress or something, a skirt, or whatever I was going to create. But I wanted to use those buttons, or even using the buttons as an accent onto whatever I was creating. So the buttons are coming in and asking you, here you go. Now, let us go and explore the patterns and what you want to create. Because the ideas are going to start coming in when you start to grab hold of the energies, which are the buttons. We can call them the buttons. So grab hold of your buttons. What kind of buttons do you want? What kind of buttons do you like? Buttons are cool. I think buttons are cool. And buttons are, I've seen somebody make a whole Christmas tree out of different buttons, which is really cool. And, what can we create? Buttons hold history, right? So you can go back in history and all the different buttons and how the buttons were made and decorated. And so buttons have a lot of different energies. So this is bringing the light. And this is like looking at what you are wanting to create with this resistance, because the Tower is breaking down. So it means that whatever we thought was working for us, whatever we thought as an individual, as a collective, It's not working. Something is coming in and it's going to start crumbling. And we're going to start feeling it, and we're going to start feeling it within our own individual lives. You know, and it's you know, it could be many things, right? I mean, right now we're coming out of lockdown or whatever it is that we were in. I mean, I think the only thing that was locked down was hairdressers and tattoo parlors and working out. Those are to me, that was about the only thing that was locked down. I mean, they try to do some other stupid restrictions here in Alberta, but really, in essence. So what is it that we are feeling that we need to really look into for our own selves? And that's where we're stepping into. And that Uranus is going to bring in some crazy energies, some crazy resistance that's going to come in with all of this. King of Cups, upright. So he's there. There's our intuition, there's our feeling, there's that energy that wants to pull us forward and pull us forward into something new. What is it that is being pulled for us with this, with the King of Cups, and along with the Hierophant being reversed and the energies of the Hierophant being reversed? What is it? What is it, baby? What is it? Let's see what the question is for the Hierophant. What? Oh, that's a hermit. I don't want the hermit. There we go. How do I celebrate my spiritual self? How do you celebrate yourself? There could be a resistance on you celebrating yourself. So how do you celebrate yourself? What do I have yet to explore? What do you want to learn? And what brings you joy, peace, and happiness? So what brings you joy? What brings you that peace, that love? And this is a wonderful time for you to stand on your own 2 feet with self-confidence and awareness of your inner wisdom. So looking at this energy, this is for us to start standing on our own 2 feet and saying, this is what I want to create in my world. What is that feeling? We got to go for the feeling first. What do you want to create in your world? Take a moment, think about it. I'm asking you, what do you want to create? What is that feeling that you want to create in your world? And this is a wonderful time for us to start to look at it, to bring into that self-confidence. Because when we start saying, I want to create joy in my world, I want to have more happiness and peace. Cool. Where can you start doing it now? Where can you find peace in your day? Where can you find joy in your day? And it could be through the sun rising, could find you joy, to you having 5 minutes of your own on the toilet. Those could be all joyful, peaceful times. Those are what we want to hone into. Those little tiny micro things, because that's going to help us with the resistance. Right? That's going to help us when things are looking doomy and gloomy and, oh my God, I can't do this anymore and life is so fucked up. This is going to bring us where it's like, yeah, you know what? There are great things in my life. There are really beautiful energies that are around me. This is what we tap into. And it's important right now with the energies to tap into. We can go crazy on the things that we're going, the vaccine or no vaccine, on the pipeline or no pipeline, on Trudeau or O'Toole, or we could go for, who, this one or that one, and this and that, and we can get all strung out and fucked up all over the place. But this is where we want to bring in. We want to bring in that energy. We want to bring in the goddesses. We want to bring in the God. We want to bring in the angels, because they're going to help us with the resistance. The more we work with the angels, the more we work with this energy. And it's funny because the energy of Joan of Arc just came in. I love her. The energy of Joan of Arc. So you got to think of this beautiful little girl. She was a little girl, just about 15. Her family was pagan. Her family wasn't Christian. And they had a tree that it was like their wisdom tree, and that they would go by this tree for wisdom. And she would be going by this energy to find out, what should I be doing, discovering. So think about when you were 15, 16, looking at what you were trying to discover. And back then, if we think about Joan of Arc, 15, 16, you were actually thought of as an adult. You were growing up because life expectancy wasn't very long. So looking at this, at her energy and looking at this and coming in, and then do you think she would have had a resistance when Archangel Michael came to her, or that energy that came to her and said, you know what? You need to be the one who's going to stand up against the English. You're going to be having the one who's going to lead the resistance. Yes, we know she was betrayed. But this is where you're going to be called. And it might be something that you don't want to do, but it's going to help many other people. She did. She freed her country. She stood up against when others wouldn't stand up. So there's something in our life that we're going to find that we have to stand up. And it could be the resistance that I don't want to start a diet. It could be a resistance that I don't want to go for a walk. It could be a resistance of I'm tired of doing my spiritual practice because I don't see anything. So blah. Could be a resistance like, oh, I put out 100 emails and nobody's responding. Got to put out 100 more. What are you resisting? And this is where it's like, that bring in that Joan of Arc energy. Joan of Arc, this beautiful, vibrant, young woman stepping forward and saying, you know what? I'm going to free my country. I mean, that's pretty spectacular if you think about it. But what are you wanting to free yourself from? And what does that feel like to be in that freedom? And where can you harness that feeling now? Does that make sense? And this is where we go and we put our energies. And so I got an itchy shoulder. I had to scratch. Sorry, guys. So this is where we start to say, okay, let's say you have a resistance to making food. So what you want to do, if you have a resistance there, let's change it to I'm going to create nourishing, scrumptious food for my body. So that we're changing what it is. If you have a resistance to working out, I am stepping into a sexier me. Or whatever that narrative is for you. If there's a resistance of putting your energy out to something, say you don't like your job, say you hate your job, and you're like, fuck, okay, lockdown's done, I gotta go back to work, this is fucking stupid, I really hate my job, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we know you hate your job. You want to find something different. We know that, we got it. What do you want to find? Now you're going to tell me, I don't know what I want. Well, then you better start now discovering, because we know what you don't want. What do you want? What do you want in a job? Do you want creativity? Do you want to have, more money? Do you want to have something that is dealing with people or no people? Do you want to be working in an office or no office? Do you want to be working from home or not home? Do you want to be working in a greenhouse? Do you want to be working, laying hydro lines? This is like, let's get creative. What do you? You want to be outdoors. What does it look like to work outdoors? This is getting into your creativity. This is getting into that energy of saying, no, this is what I want. Now, how can I bring it into where I am at? So I may not like the job or whatever I'm doing. I can remember working at Starbucks and even at Starbucks at Target. And I'm just like, I'm here for a reason, whatever that reason is. I'm here for a reason, whatever that reason is. And when I'm supposed to go, I'll go. But one of my resistance was, my huge resistance was doing the work I do now because of the financial strain it causes. That's the biggest resistance I have. Greenhouses, I know. She's like, yes, greenhouses. Maybe you want to grow chili peppers and have a chili pepper farm. Have your greenhouses filled with chili peppers and create different types of chili peppers. Who knows? Maybe that makes you joy. So you start off with 3 or 4 chili peppers. I want to drive seniors about. Find out how to drive seniors. What do you need to do? Maybe it's just starting with your neighbor. Maybe there's somebody you know who's a senior who's afraid of who's very sensitive to go driving and get their groceries. You know, this is like you just start moodling it out. Maybe you just put a little ad in your neighborhood watch thing or paper and stuff like that and say, hey, you know what, I'm bonded, I'm this, I'm safe, and you know, I'm a good person, I'm not going to rob you, whatever, and I'll drive you. Do you need a driver? You know, if you need to be bonded, okay, you want to do that, maybe you need to be bonded. What do you got to do to be bonded? You know, maybe be an Uber driver that's specific for only seniors. Become an Uber driver for your neighborhood. So this is, and you only do seniors. Your specialty is seniors or whatever it is. I don't know if you could do that, but who knows? Don't know till you ask. So this is where you start. Maybe you have to add some more insurance. So there's other things you have to look at. Yeah, it's great to drive people around, but I got to look into the mundane muggle world, right? This is where the energy comes in. And you start to dream on it. What does that make me feel? Yeah, it makes me feel excited. Okay, what's the next step? What's the next step? Because we got you excited, right? We got the ideas coming. What's the next step? You got to do the next step. And in doing the next step, it's going to allow for you to open up. It's going to allow for you to take it, but you're the one. That's where this moon in Aries is. It's saying you got to take the next step. And yes, it could bring in a lot of unknown circumstances. Hence, the square that's happening that is causing a lot of resistance is coming up. So the Tower card is coming in. The Tower card is coming in to say, hey, yeah, there's resistance, and things have to get out of your way in order for you to go forward. Resistance builds muscle. And allow yourself to create and build this muscle. So it is a crazy day. There's a lot of unknown energies that are coming in today, and we have to step forward with this energy and step forward with this newness and look at the energies and stepping forward to the buttons that we have and what we want to create with our buttons. You never know what kind of outfit can come out with some really cool buttons. So stepping into your new creative and your new creativity. Sending you guys out so much love. The angel class is starting February 19th. If you are interested in this angel class, it is going to be, it's going to be spectacular. It's going to be great. It really is. I'm excited for it. And then we have the spell casting class that's happening at the end of the month. So bringing in the spell casting. Great to see you have taken a few walks. Woo! Paying the price emotionally. Nice. You know, so yeah, it's you know, one step at a time. That's all we can do, right? So here we are. We got to stand on our own 2 feet. That's what the Hierophant is. It's standing on our own 2 feet with self-confidence and the awareness of your own inner wisdom. Yes. could do this. We could do this because we're absolutely spectacular. So let me know if you're needing a reading, if you're needing a spruce up reading, get a hold of me and we will book you in. I'm booking into now February. We're looking at mid-February or so. So booking into then. So sending you out so much love. May the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Blessed be everybody. Have a special day and create something new with your buttons. Bye-bye.